Governor Newsom announced that California has struck a deal to buy 200 million medical-grade masks. KCRA 3 political analyst and Senior Vice President of Randall Communications, Kevin Riggs, is joining us now with the Riggs Report. So where are they coming from?
Well, the governor did not specify the companies that are going to be the source of the masks when he made his announcement on MSNBC last night, Deirdre, but we do know that they are coming from a consortium of nonprofits and manufacturers, and we also know the amount of the purchase itself is enormous. We're talking about 150 million of the N95 respiratory masks and another 50 million surgical masks, all of that coming at a time when hospitals, healthcare providers really are going to need those supplies as we head into that surge period. The governor told MSNBC that he decided not to wait for the federal government, not to compete with other states for masks, but instead to use California's huge size to leverage the purchase. And so this is where California's size really does come into play. We're talking about the state initially setting aside some $500 million to buy those masks. And again, coming at a time here in the next few weeks when that surge period is really going to hit. So it's going to be very important. In fact, the governor even indicated there may be so many masks here on hand that California may be in a position, just as it did with ventilators, to hand out some of those masks to other states in need.
In the meantime, of course, we still have a presidential race that's underway, and voters in Wisconsin were out there voting yesterday. Why, in retrospect, not just delay the vote, given all of the health concerns and the fact that we're telling everybody in America to stay home right now?
Yeah, and I think that's a question that a lot of voters in Wisconsin are asking today, especially given the long lines yesterday and the lack of polling places. Milwaukee, for example, had only 5 polling places. So all of this fear about spreading the virus. The answer, the state's Democratic governor tried to postpone the vote on Monday, as 11 other states have already done since this outbreak occurred. And he was blocked by the Republican majority on the state Supreme Court. And challenged by Republican lawmakers in the legislature. Then there was an effort to extend the period in which voters could send in their absentee ballots, and that was blocked by the U.S. Supreme Court. So the vote yesterday went forward, again, with those long lines, lots of masks, lots of disinfectant. And so we're not going to know the outcome of the vote itself until at least Monday. That's when they're going to announce the results. Joe Biden heading into Wisconsin, the polls showed him in very good shape. But yeah, very unusual in these times to have that kind of a mass gathering. It's kind of a mixed message for sure.
Yeah, no kidding. Final question, nothing to do with politics, but are you growing the mustache out until this thing is over?
I have to do something to amuse myself during this isolation period, right? So yeah, it's going to be there. It's going to be there until we all get to go back to work.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm not sure what to root for here. All right. Thank you, Kevin.
We'll talk later.